whatever quarterback we were going to go with. They just have to go out there with the mindset and lead us in the right direction because, everybody's looking at them.
Wait. Before we move on and talk about Kenny, that's not even your real voice. Like, why are you trying to put on this, like Bruce Wayne voice? Like, you're not just going to, like, change just because you're on TV now.
This is my voice.
I want to get the real content. No, it's not. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Not Just Football with me, Cam Heyward. Hayden, what we got on the books today?
Today we have a special guest who you know pretty well. Connor Heyward will be joining the show today to talk a little college football with us. Michigan State and Ohio State are playing this week in East Lansing. Want to get his opinion on that. But before we get that going on that, I want to start on y'all's current team. Obviously, the team is 1-3 at the moment. Could easily be 3-1. What's it going to take to get the season turned around, Cam?
Man, we gotta work through some stuff. It has not been perfect the past 4 weeks. Even in our win, there were some glaring mistakes. But, there's time to improve. Guys got to step up. We have to be accountable for what we do. I know everybody's looking for the quick fix and, trying to put your finger on one thing, but it's like a little things everywhere. And it's like being short one gap or, not blocking the right assignment on one thing, or not seeing the right read or, simply catching a punt. All these things play a factor. It's funny. Our special teams coach always says more teams know how to lose a game than win a game. And, I feel like we've shot ourselves in the foot these last couple of weeks. And it's really, made some glaring mistakes. When we're playing teams that run the ball, you get less possessions, and there needs to be more accountability, and there needs to be more precision because you don't get as many possessions, both on offense and defense. As a defense, you got to get off the field quick, provide more opportunities for offense. But if we're not doing that, the offense has got to maximize the amount of possessions they are getting.
I agree with what Cam said. I think, offensively, we can do a better job. Obviously, I'm not going to speak on the defensive side, but, offensively, I think we can do a better job. And, when we get the ball, just try to make the most of it and, just continue to get better. And, we're looking forward to this game.
I'm Connor Heyward. I'm ready to play football. I think we can do a better job. Come on. Open up. Let's go.
I'll give him credit, though, man. He's a rookie not wanting to make a mistake on the media side. That's buttoned up. Give him credit, man. Yeah. I mean, I'll give him some credit on that. And I will say this, in the podcasting world, I'll give him credit. He also talked about Kenny Pickett, which we're going to have to talk about today. Mm-hmm. Tomlin made the announcement. He said, we felt that not only in terms of ability to move the ball, but in terms of energy, Kenny was the right decision. Connor, obviously, you've played a little bit with Kenny in training camp. Cam, what do you think about the move? And did you guys feel a noticeable energy shift in the stadium when Kenny did come in?
Go ahead, Connor.
I felt the energy with everybody shouting his name, chanting his name before he even went in. But we've been feeling that from preseason. First game, Seattle, I remember that. And, it's just carried over. And I know Kenny's worked, his butt off for this moment. I know he's ready for it. But I honestly wasn't expecting it. I mean, I was just expecting us to go in there at half and make adjustments and come back out there. But, Coach Tomlin made a decision and, everybody's behind it. And, I don't think it's, the wrong or right decision. I think it's just, time for us to go out there and, it's a must-win game.
Yeah, I agree with Connor. I think we didn't know it was going to happen. We had no inkling that, maybe this might happen. I'm of the belief that it takes 11 to play good. It's not just the quarterback. I think Mitch was still being positive and Mitch was still making plays. That's what you do at half. And I can't question the head man's decision. He makes a decision and we ride with it. But going forward, if Kenny's the starter, it's not just Kenny who has to be accountable for a Steelers win. It's everybody, and I think everybody's on the edge of their seats to see Kenny Pickett. But Steelers wins come from the entire team. And I would hate for it to be a position where, he has to carry the load of either you live or you die. And you ride with Kenny Pickett and, if he makes a mistake, the team loses. That's not how this game works. It comes down to 11 men executing, play in and play out. Kenny will have to, he holds a lot because you do have the ball in your hands, but guys got to block, guys got to catch, guys got to be able to run the football. These are all things that come into winning a game, and we just got to get back to doing that. It's definitely going to be, there's going to be some growing pains. Like Kenny's going to have to learn some things that happen during a game. It's way different from preseason, and it's a different brand of football, even from college. So we're going to ride with Kenny. Kenny, Mitch, Mason, whoever's out there, all 11 have to be out there responsible for the wins.
Yeah, and for Connor, obviously, it was reported that you and Kenny had a nice little connection in preseason and in camp. What do you see, or what did you like playing with him in the preseason that makes you think he can be successful at this level?
I liked a lot of stuff from Kenny, but with me and him personally, we had a good relationship off the field, so that just helps. When you're on the field, he trusts you a little bit more. Whenever I have a question, I can ask him whatever the question may be. And, when you have a quarterback out there that you're, really comfortable with, you guys are thinking the same things. And, sometimes just thinking a step ahead of the defense. And honestly, he just, has a good feel for the game. And, playing with Davis growing up, I see a lot of the same characteristics when it comes to, trusting guys downfield. Obviously I played receiver growing up and stuff like that, but even you see in Kenny throwing it deep to Deontay and, George, and, you saw him target Georgia, a good bit, but it just comes with all those reps that we had at mini camp until this point, all the way through camp. So when you get those reps with, a guy like Kenny like that, he's looking at you and expecting, for you to be on the same page with him. There was that one play where he wanted George got pressed and he wanted to run a fade, but George just ran an 8-yard hitch. But he was like, and George did what the right thing was, but he was like, no, like when you get that look, I want you to run a fade. And, seeing him do that and, grab George and, confront him like, hey, I want you to do this. That was really cool to see, and seeing him take charge. And, when you see a quarterback do that, it's really good.
Connor, are your hands bigger than Kenny's?
I don't know. I mean, I would assume so. I wear a 3XL glove. I don't know. Is it his thumb? What is it?
I heard it is his thumb. It brings it in. So, no, I'm just giving him a hard time.
I mean, listen, hey, he threw the ball well on Sunday. It didn't look like the hands were a problem. How do you guys evaluate the way he played Sunday?
I think there's good and bad. Obviously, the quarterback's going to take responsibility for the 3 picks, but I think he did a good job of throwing down the field, using his feet. I think being able to run, even with Mitch or with Kenny, we've been able to have like real zone reads. Like when I was with Ben, there was no zone read. That's not a shot at Ben. Ben was just more of a pocket presence, and they alluded to Ben as most people alluded to Ben as rumbling and tumbling down the field, but these guys are very athletic, and they can make a guy miss in the hole.
I thought he played well from what I saw. I thought he did a good job of getting that 4th and short, QB sneak. And then, on the rollout where he could have dumped it in the flat, but he ended up just running it in, finding a way. It wasn't, the most pretty thing, but it was just him just finding a way. Stuff's not always going to be pretty, but, you want a quarterback that's not scared to put his face in it and, somebody that, is going to win by any means. Obviously, I know that we can grow offensively, but, I liked how, he was pushing the ball down the field and, sometimes the receivers are going to have somebody on them. And, when you put those 50-50 balls up, you saw them come down with a lot of them. But, we have 3 really good receivers that can win, at any given time. Good tight ends, Najee, Jalen. I think the talent's there. We just got to put the pieces together.
Connor, before we move into, different things that have happened and what we look forward to in the future, break down your draft story.
So everybody's at the house. Cam's there, Corey's there, the whole fam's there, and all my friends are there, and Sydney's there. The whole family's there. I'm starting to stress out. I'm getting up and down. Cam's like, chill, and I'm like tweaking. I'm like walking around, pacing. I'm going back and forth from my mom's room, leaving everybody in the basement. I'm just all over the place. And then once I got drafted, they called me. Cam thought it was the Bears because it was like pick is in, and then the Steelers right after that. And Cam's like, who is that? And I'm just like, 1 second, 1 second. And it was Tomlin. And then, after I told him and, everybody went crazy, just glad everything worked out.
Is that the team you always wanted to be with?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Is it because of Cam or because of other things?
Obviously, Cam has a factor in that, but I would just say, like, just growing up with my grandparents, always getting Steelers stuff for Christmas, my birthday, like, grandma's always sending a Steelers puffy. Like, you're getting that every Christmas, every birthday, with a hoodie or a beanie that's too small to fit on my head. But, no. And obviously, some candy, chocolate, something like that. But, yeah, I always wanted to play for the Steelers, before Cam and after Cam. And, wow, right now.
Wow, thanks for always looking forward to after Cam. Yeah, that's great. What have you said has been the biggest thing you've learned in your early rookie season?
Everybody's good. It's college, there's a lot of good guys, but, there's sometimes you'll find those guys that, that just kind of hide in the defense, hide in offense. But everybody's good at this level. You got to pay attention to every little detail. Like if that route's supposed to be ran at 10, get to 10, and the coaches are looking for those details. And, ultimately the details is, going to start making these, these wins start adding up and, turn these good days into great days.
What's it going to take for us to get a win on Sunday?
All 3 phases playing well. Offensively, controlling the line of scrimmage and us taking care of the ball. Defense, doing what they do, playing Steelers football, just getting back to that. And then offensively, like I said, just don't turn the ball over. If you just possess the ball, even if we're not moving it, just, make us punt the ball, flip the field. It's going to be a game of field position and a game that, special teams has to do their job and where, we can't have a lot of penalties, a game that everybody just has to be dialed in on.
I know you're in a special room, right? You've got Pat Freiermuth, you got Zach Gentry, and you have yourself. Y'all are very odd, I'll say the least. And you guys, give me a Pat Freiermuth and Zach Gentry experience.
Yeah, I mean, if you see one of them, you're gonna see the other one. But no, they're always messing around. But we know when to be serious. Fredo knows, when to have fun, when to be serious. But
most people don't know Fredo tore his hamstring in the Cincinnati game, right?
Yeah,
right. The tight ends coach tore his hamstring.
Oh, I was like, who is Fredo? Y'all need to explain who Fredo is. How did he tear his hamstring?
On the play?
He was running up the side.
Yeah, on the play, Gentry caught the screen, and he made a guy miss. Yes. You see Fredo run down the sideline, like in the white. He's, like, clearly, like, in front of all the officials, everybody, because you can see it on the film. And, like, he might have hit, like, 2-3 miles per hour. He didn't even really kick his leg up for real. And his headset comes off. He's pulling his hamstring. He's like wincing on the sideline. But I mean, he's moving around well now. He's walking and stuff.
Yeah. Fredo, we give a hard time for that.
Lions, Tigers, and tailgates. Oh my. The college football season is always a great time of year. Besides the jerseys, the face paint, and foam fingers, there's the food. And nothing gets you more fired up for game day than Eckrich smoked sausage. They are naturally hardwood smoked and have the perfect blend of spices. From buffalo sausage dip to sausage chili mac and cheese, Eckrich smoked sausage is a quick way to bring flavor to your tailgate meals. Visit Eckrich.com for easy, one-of-a-kind sausage recipes. Eckrich, you do you. Buffalo Bills preview, got a tough challenge this week, playing arguably the best offense in the league. What's it going to take to win, man?
Capitalizing on every possession as an offense. You can't settle for three and you can't settle for punts. You have to be aggressive. You're going into, what some would call the Lions den. I think their offense is pretty remarkable. Good old line. Josh Allen can throw, run. Man, if he could, he would sell stuff on the side outside the stadium because the dude's he's unbelievable. Diggs is nothing to play with. That dude, in this league, he's the equivalent of like an Antonio Brown right now. His routes are precise. He's always open. And then their defense, they're opportunistic. They don't let you really run the ball. And then they have some playmakers on the back end. And then you don't even talk about, on the front end with Von Miller, Jordan Phillips, Ed Oliver. They have some monsters up front that if you don't take care of them, man, it makes that team tough to beat. But I'm excited going back in the Lions den, the Bill against the Bills, and going into a tough environment because I know their fans are loud and want the best for them. Just how tough is that of an environment compared to the rest of the league? It's crazy. So the last two times we played them night game, middle of the pandemic, no fans there, none, and you could hear a pin drop, and it was the weirdest experience. And then last year we opened up with the Bills, and everybody was there, and it was September 11th. They had this beautiful opening scene just dedicated to September 11th. And everybody was everybody was up, and you could it was rocking. It was a fun place to play. And we did not start off that game well. If you remember, we gave up a kickoff return that put them at the 45. And so they were electric coming out. And I felt like our defense settled in right away. We got off the field quick. And I think we surrendered 3 points. But, against a team like that, you can't just let them get out on fire, because if they do, the points just keep, the points happen in bunches. What advice would you give Kenny, knowing he's going into that tough environment? Have good communication with your receivers and O-line. It's going to be tough to hear. You got to have good, silent counts, and you're going to have to be able to move around. Von Miller is not going to make it easy on you. That dude, he's been playing as long as I played, and he knows how to rush the passer. He's won a Super Bowl MVP because of that. He's won another Super Bowl because of that as well. So you have to keep your head on a swivel, and let these receivers eat, baby. Yeah, and Kenny's being thrown to the fire. He's going to have a very tough schedule to start, and that's you're going to find out what you're made of, which is cool. One last thing on the game, Cam. What is there more emphasis on when you're playing Josh Allen? Is it more pressure or trying to contain him in the pocket, not letting him get outside to make all the plays he does? Both. Obviously, the outside linebackers have to do a good job containing and keeping him in the pocket. But for me, especially, it's making sure he doesn't have running lanes through the middle and providing a good push up front. So he wants to scramble outside, but then our outsides are able to capitalize on that. And what's the mindset too, actually, with the guy like that who, I saw him on Kyle Brandt's podcast saying, he looks to stiff arm defensive players, D-linemen. Does your mindset have to change knowing that there's a quarterback maybe looking for contact? If he looks for contact, we look for contact. I don't think it's anything malicious, but if a quarterback chooses to run the ball, we want to punish the quarterback. And that takes guys rallying to the ball. It takes guys hustling to get there. And then, when you have more guys, he's going to be more inclined to take a slide. And, it's one thing to stiff arm. We can chop that, wrap up, and then there's a sack on top of that.
Yeah, well, good luck this weekend, man. I'm excited to see you take on the challenge of Buffalo. I know it's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a tough one, but it's one we're looking forward to. It's a heck of a game. Man, I think Caesars is probably – I think we're a 14-point underdog. So
it's funny, Cam. You're evolving, my friend. You have even noticed point spreads. I wasn't going to say it, but dude, it's like growth, man. Nice job.
It's growth, but guess what? I'm an underdog, so
yeah,
looking forward to it. Football is something that you can wallow in your losses, but man, I get excited for games, and I got a couple more days to better myself to get ready for this game, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun place to play in Bill Stadium.
Hey, one last thing. You feeling okay? I saw there was a report you were. I know you were on the field at the late game, and I don't know if this is, maybe I read it wrong. You got an X-ray at half. You don't got to tell me what you got an X-ray. Just, are you okay?
I'm great. Bumps and bruises come when you play defensive line. And so, you take those bumps, sometimes you just need an oil change to get back out there. I was able to finish the game. Wish we would have got the W, but I'll be fine. Football is not made for, weak people. You got to be able to inflict pain, and you got to be able to deal with pain. So I'll be better, and I'll be on that field Sunday. So looking forward to that game, though.
All right, people, we're brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook, the greatest sports betting app ever, and honestly, the only one you need. It's not just about the big bonuses and boosts and promos that you get. It's the fact that every time you bet, whether you win or lose, you're earning towards the types of perks only Caesars can offer. Free stays, concert tickets, bonuses, and more. That's because when you download the Caesars Sportsbook app, you become a Caesars Rewards member, and that means perks. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-522-4700.
Football season is here, and nothing beats your favorite team live. Not only does Vivid Seats have great NFL ticket prices, they are also the official ticketing partner of ESPN. And with Vivid Seats Rewards, when you buy 10 tickets, you get the 11th free. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats, life happens live. Receive a reward credit equal to the average price of 10 tickets purchased, excluding taxes, fees, and processing costs. See vividseats.com/rewards for terms and conditions.
So I know we talked about, the tight end room, they're big Big Ten guys, but we're Big Ten guys too. Hayden's that team up north. I'm Ohio State. You're Michigan State. And you being Michigan State, the season has not gone well for y'all this year. How are you dealing with that?
Honestly, I knew it was going to be I'm not going to say it was going to be a tough year, but I just knew what we lost. Like, everybody thought we lost.
They lost you, right?
No.
They lost you.
No.
Yeah, that's the number. I tweeted that out. They've not been the same since you've left campus.
I'm the jail factor, I'm telling you. Jail factor, like, I don't got to go out there and score 30, but it's just going to jail. I'm going to do my role. It's going to jail. Catch my balls, but no, you lost Speedy Naylor. He's on the Vikings. He's active. You lost AJ Curry, got drafted. Kevin Jarvis, Matt Allen, and then Ken Walker, our best player. You lose that. Obviously, you have Jaden Reed coming back, Peyton Thorne coming back, but it's just a lot of new faces, a lot of young guys. So it's time for those young guys to emerge, but. It's a lot of young guys up front, a lot of new faces, a lot of transfers. Sometimes it's good with the transfer portal. Last year was a year that it worked, but I'm starting to see that it's a hit or miss thing. I think that sometimes you need to get some guys from North Dakota State, 4th, 5th guys that have been there 4 or 5 years from North Dakota State compared to getting these guys from Washington State, getting guys from here that just have not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm being for real. Like, there's all these portal kids, but like, if you're not getting the best kids in the portal, then why are you in the portal? That's how I see it. You need to go recruit high school a little bit harder. And you just can't give up 500 yards of passing 2 games. Like, you can't do that.
And it's only going to get worse this weekend. They're playing the best passing team in the country, arguably, this weekend.
When we played Ohio State last year, it was 49-0 at halftime. I'm like, come on.
Wait, but didn't you say you guys were going to win that game too, going in? You were pretty pumped about that last game.
What were we? We were like 7-1 going into the game. I mean, come on.
I know, and you were like, "We're going to shock the world." You were like, "You guys definitely shocked the world."
What was the final of that? 63-7? What was it? It was ugly.
No.
Hey, we beat Michigan though.
Oh.
Listen. Do you think you'll beat Michigan this year?
I actually do.
Oh. Can I send you a jersey to wear? Get Chris Wormley to bet you, please. He'll give you a jersey to wear to that facility. There's not a chance in hell y'all are beating Michigan this year.
That's what y'all said. Y'all were up with 5 touchdowns last year.
Connor, have you seen them play this year?
Yes, but honestly, McCarthy's good, but sometimes he wants to do too much. And that's where K. McNamara, he just takes routine play.
He wants to do too much, but he hasn't turned the ball over once yet this year. So, we could say what you want. It doesn't matter. But hold on.
He should have.
Let's not get into Michigan right now.
He should have.
We'll bring you up for Michigan. We'll bring you up for Michigan, too. The question I have right now, it's not if y'all will win the game. It's will y'all even be within 4 touchdowns of this game on Saturday?
Ooh.
I got to say, yeah. I mean, I can't say no. Like, if people at Michigan State see this, they're going to be like, because I'm going to go back there. You know what I'm saying? It's go green till I die, but they got to.
I want to go back this week.
They got to tighten up.
Yeah. You don't go back this week.
Connor, but like you kind of contradicted yourself, right? Because you said you're the jail factor and you know, you guys lost all these pieces. We beat y'all. I don't even know what the score was, but it was more than 4 touchdowns.
But you can't put that on the offense. I mean, once you get down 21-0, you got to change the whole game plan. Ken Walker had 6 carries that game. We just had to start throwing it the whole game.
56-7 last year.
Ooh, 56-7.
It was 49-0 at half.
They put Quinn Ewers in the game.
Hey, actually though,
everybody deserves to get reps at that
game?
point.
Yeah, I think that was only.
That's the game y'all got him to. Y'all got him to Texas. Thanks.
Yeah, no, he was going to Texas no matter what. Actually, though, I'm glad we're talking about this, Connor. I want to get your opinion on this too, but Cam, you first. Did y'all see Ohio State fake a punt up 39 on Rutgers?
I did.
What are we doing here? You got to be. Come on, bro. You got to be a little bit. Come on.
I was.
There's got to be something going on between Schiano and Day.
Yeah, you know.
Didn't he coached there though, didn't he?
Yeah. Hey man, guys get very petty, and coaches are even pettier. I never was with Schiano or Day, but I just know coaches can be very petty, and they hold a grudge in every little thing they do.
You're up 39-0, just punt the ball. But I mean, if you really want to put, a statement win, I mean, win by all costs, do what you want. But I mean, everybody's gonna be looking at you crazy. You got to have some type of sportsmanship. Me as a coach right there, I'm just gonna punt the ball. I wouldn't have shown that fake punt look until when I needed to use it. So that's how I would have went about it.
And the crazy thing is, if you look at the Notre Dame game, I think we won by like 10 points or so. And, we got the ball back with 4 or 5 minutes. And we moved the ball a little bit. But it's not like we went for a fake then to rally up the score. So now you get to this game, the Rutgers game. What was the plan in going up even more points? It just felt like Ohio State's always been about class. And, we always talk about having good sportsmanship. It didn't look like we showed good sportsmanship in that approach.
What do you say about it was a read for the punter? That was kind of the voice after the game, that the punter saw something and he just took it and ran. Do you almost, as Ryan Day, got to say, hey, that play's off. Just punt the ball down the field?
Yeah, it's one thing to be critical and, say we could have done this. And, if it's a read, that's one thing. But isn't he still like a rugby punter? So, if you're on the run, just kick it anyways. I understand both teams were pretty pissed off about it. So hopefully it got squashed after that. But, the punter did take a beating for doing that. So
one other thing, Cam, I do want to talk with you about. We talked in the preseason about this little beef between Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher. Saban, a 24-point favorite at home. Thank you, Caesars. They got to cover that and win big, right? You got to think that.
Oh, man. The Coach's Petty Bowl. And I think both of them have – this is the type of game where it could get out of control and could get, this is where you start pulling out your fakes because, oh, yeah, you want to talk mess about what we do? How about I talk mess about what you do? And it always leads to this. So it's going to be interesting going forward. But I don't think it gets covered. I think it's a competitive game, and A&M's going to put up a heck of a fight. Is
that because the uncertainty of the quarterback position for Bama?
Yes, hands down. Bryce Young, Heisman winner. When you lose a guy like that, there is uncertainty. And I don't know if he's going to be ready to go. And I feel like, Jimbo's going to give everybody a run for their money.
Yeah, I think Bama wins big this weekend. Obviously, losing Bryce Young's big time, but I think as a team, Alabama's just a better team than A&M is this year. I think A&M surprised a lot of people last year, but they also were winning a good amount of games last year. But they lost their quarterback last year that beat them, Zach Calzon or whatever. That's at Auburn. He went to Lanier and Gwinnett, but I think Alabama's more stable at a quarterback position, even though Bryce Young's not playing. They always have depth and guys that are ready to play.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and Saban too. Don't piss him off. If you do that, he's going to run it up on you and kick the crap out of you. All right, one last thing before we get to not just football topics, guys. This was thrown out there. Who do you guys think is the best NFL brother combo right now and ever?
Right now, if we're just talking brothers, I think you got to go with the Watts. Two defensive player of the years, kids, and then Derek, who is a special team savant and knows how to get make a lot of plays on special teams. I think the McCourtys were very good, but one's retired and one's active. The Kelseys are on another, juggernaut in themselves. They've got the Super Bowl rings. But I think individually, and you look at just the group of brothers, probably the Watts.
Yeah, I would say the Watts, like Cam said, the Kelsey, McCourty, and then you also have, in the past, the Sharp brothers. They were both really good. Unfortunately, Sterling Sharp got hurt, but they're deep. But the Watts, they're deep. Like I was saying, there's three of them compared to us. There's two. I've learned a lot from Derek on special teams. Obviously, you see what type of player TJ is, and JJ Watt. When he was in his prime, he was unstoppable. So I would say them. But I think we'll be up there soon.
No Diggs brothers, huh?
Oh, I forgot about the Diggs brothers.
Yeah, man. But listen, we better try to get them on the show as guests. So yes, the Diggs brothers for sure are probably the best in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think the Diggs
right now they are.
They're good. They're both really good.
I don't know if I can put them over the Watts yet. I feel like the Watts have accomplished so much.
That's probably true. I mean, you have multiple defensive player of the years, multiple 20-sack seasons, and then, like you said, Derek's another player in itself. They're just deep. Yeah. I love how, though, Connor said older people or, guys from past generations. I think it's quota. We have to mention the bosses, the Manning brothers, maybe.
Who are they?
I'm
just kidding. Those are our bosses. Nah. Yeah, retired. If we go retired, the Mannings probably take the cake. Peyton, throwing everything which way. And I think Eli's crowning achievement is beating the Patriots in the Super Bowls. That's a stunning thing that not many people can say. And so, when you look at what they've done and how they transcend, and now they have a guy like Arch Manning going to Texas next year, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger, I think.
Yeah, that's like, aren't the Matthews like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Matthews have like a
Bruce
bunch
Matthews.
Yeah, the parents and the sons and the cousins, like everybody played in that family. It was like mandatory. Yeah. Any chance we get you guys in a Chad Power situation going back to Ohio State or Michigan State or anything?
For me, I do it. I don't think I would want to do a combine though. I want to be in like actual practice. Like I want to come dressed up and then be like, who's this like old man who thinks he can like play football? And then, I'm just beating them with hands and then just bullying them. And they're like, man, we could really use him this year. So, that would be more fun to me.
We're going to move on to some not just football topics though. Monday night, Bobby Wagner slamming a fan on the field. I remember James Harrison doing this. Have either of you ever wanted to do this during game?
There was one time last year we were playing Seattle and a fan ran across the field. And he ran straight up to Alex Highsmith. And, I remember TJ being like, what are you going to do? Like, if you grab him, you're just going to get in trouble for it. But security pulled him off pretty quick. It was an interesting situation, to say the least. But, I haven't been involved in one of those yet, but I don't want to be a part of one of those. Like, it's a game and everybody should be watching. But then when you start bringing fans onto the field, there's no good that can come from that.
What about you, Connor? You want to slam somebody that comes on the field?
I would just kind of let it happen. I really.
Connor wants to be the guy running across the field.
Protesting. Like, he had like a flare last night too. I'm like, Wagner's got to be careful, man. You don't want to get that smoke in your eyes. Like,
yeah, I saw someone say they were like, he was probably just doing a gender reveal for his baby. So
that's kind of what it looked like, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on here. This was interesting on Sunday. I don't know if either of you guys saw it, but DK Metcalf was carted off the field, but not for injury. He needed to use the facilities in the fourth quarter. The question is, have either of you ever almost gone number 1 or 2 during the game?
I'm more inclined to hold it. Connor, being my younger brother, probably needed a diaper and probably just went in his pants. But when I think about the DK Metcalf incident, right, where, he had to be like driven out, I think about like Paul Pierce in the finals. And, everybody's saying like, oh no, I don't think he can walk. I think he's done. Comes back out. And then years later, we found out he just needed to take a dump. Like that was, it was spot on from, DK's situation to Paul Pierce's.
Well, so wait, did he need to, or did he go in his pants? It was the rumor. I thought Paul Pierce had accidentally gone on the court. I don't know. I don't want to reckless speculation there, but that seemed, I don't know. Connor, have you ever had to use the bathroom mid-game and need to be carted back?
I've had to use the restroom a couple times this game, but this year, but I've always just held it till halftime.
Hey, so there was news that came out that the Lakers nearly traded Russell Westbrook for Myles Turner and Buddy Hield. Would have had to give up a couple first-round picks in that as well. Obviously, I think we're all three some Laker fans. Connor, I think you are too. How'd you guys see that, and would you have wished they made that trade?
For how long have the Lakers been trying to get Buddy Hield or saying they were going to get him? Like, I remember when he was in Sacramento, they said they were going to get him, trade for him. I think LeBron just needs some spot-up shooters and some role players and somebody to come in and, take the second unit when he's out.
I would just say, looking at what the Lakers are trying to do, I think you're trying to be patient and you want to, keep as many picks as you can. If you start trading more and more picks, what is your roster going to look like in that 2027 or 2029? I understand you're trying to win championships now, and you have LeBron to win a championship. You have to be very careful with your picks. You can't just be out there, throwing them around. Because I think you look back at what happened with Anthony Davis, I don't think they should have gave up all those picks. I think they could have held on to a couple more and really, it could have been a different situation than just giving up all those picks. But I do think it was the right move in getting Anthony Davis. I do think they're trying to move Westbrook because after this summer, you want to have cap space to go get a guy. So, that's going to be the interesting thing going forward. How can the Lakers, have cap space? How can they have a good team? But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think a move like that, like Connor was saying, though, makes some sense. Buddy Hield's a better shooter than Russell Westbrook, and they have so many point guards now. It just seems like I don't know how many minutes there are there for all of them. All right, but last thing too here from the NBA, I think it was yesterday. Tyler Hero signed a 4-year, $130 million extension. Good player, a lot of money. What do you think about the move by Miami?
Got to keep a player like that. Shooting doesn't come cheap, and in the NBA, cash is everything. Get your money. And so, for a guy like Tyler Hero, he's got to be paid. He's a young kid that you can continue to build around. You got a good squad around him. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry. Those guys all together have a good core. So keeping him was key.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I think the only one there that you might question is and he's a Michigan guy, is the Duncan Robinson for 5 years, $90 million. They have a lot of money tied up in 5 guys, so they're going to need to build the roster around him smart. But thanks, man. I appreciate your Not Just Football convos here.
I want to say thank you to my little brother. I know he can be a headache sometimes, but he's got a good heart, and he's on his way. I know he doesn't have the stats to back it up, but love the way he competes, love the way he works, and he's going to continue to keep growing this league, and, things will come his way. Thank you, Hayden, for always being here and always taking part in this. Thank you to everybody who's listening. We enjoy sharing this time with you. It's been a pleasure on the Not Just Football podcast. Keep staying tuned. We'll have some more guests. We got to get some more brothers on so we can continue to have this ragging. But see you next time, and peace.